I am the boss of this application, so do exactly what I tell you.
Welcome back. So today we're going over refactoring this commands implementation that we have here with function pointers. It's using a map. We're going to start here. There's some other things I'd like to do with the project. I'll probably do it offline, like group the files the way I like to see them. And I'm going to remove the interactive functionality out of the application because I don't find that particularly useful. I don't think that's going to help anyone. So I'm going to do that offline, but today we're just going to refactor this guy. We're going to see what Claude has to do. Now I want to start with how I got here and where I am currently. So we didn't need to go through all this live. So what I did is I took this, I have this software developer kit. So I have a prompt for design patterns, and I copied this as an expert prompt engineer, craft a detailed prompt for applying blah, blah, blah pattern name. So I pasted that in here, and what we got was undesirable. So basically it had some things that I didn't like. It works, but it really wasn't much better than what we have. I was surprised that both LLMs just aren't understanding, I think. So anyway, we have, our commands. There's the interface, and the command takes in this receiver, and this receiver is the one that's now responsible for the light on action in this example that it provided. Now that immediately makes me wonder, why are we adding another layer of indirection? I thought, okay, this might be interesting. Maybe I'll learn something, right? I come down here and then I look, and this receiver class now has all these functions. How is this different than just using function pointers? So then I come back and I would say the receiver class does too much. Each concrete class should have its implementation in it, not offload that to the receiver. I said, okay. So then it creates this action thing, and it does the same thing, but with an action class. So another layer of indirection. I love indirection, but it's not making sense to me. So I explain it verbosely. There should be an I command with concrete classes derived from the interface. There should be a command invoker that's responsible for finding the correct command to execute. Each concrete command implementation will have the code as it's supposed to execute. Blah, 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 blah. So now we have it where it is, or where I want it, where each class now has an execute function with its execution. So now I'm going to take this. I had to reword it because I forgot to tell it we're in C++. So it redid everything in C++, and now I like it. Now this prompt means a lot more. Let's go. I don't like it says this model is not super good with prompt weaving, but let's see. We're going to copy it over, and we're just going to use this. There we go. Copy. And now in here, I said, let's switch over to it. In here, I said to Claude, completely refactor the implementation of the commands in the password generator class to use the following OOD command parameters. So I'm going to paste in our prompt, and let's let Claude work. It's going to be totally hands-off. We're going to allow Claude full access, and we're the puppet master. Claude is the employee. I told him what to do very specifically. Let's see how it turns out. Okay, so it looks like Claude's done here. Let's see what it did. I like this, registering all the commands. Not sure why this is here and why we still have this process args. Well, okay, these are arguments. This is for another day. We hate this function, right? We do have some command calling in there, but that's not exactly what we're trying to refactor. So I don't mind too much having all the definitions in one file. It's a little tougher to read, but we know that they're all based on this, so it's not as big of a deal. I have a feeling that all of that implementation isn't here, which I don't like. We have this invoker. It seems clean. So this is basically what we wanted. It cleaned up. It looks better. Feels better. What I'm going to do, though, I am going to ask Claude I want all those commands in their own separate files. I want to just look over to the directory and see the list of commands. And then if I would need to add a command, I just want to add a new file. That's the open close principle in action there. That's a solid principle. And you don't want to have to modify an existing file, right? Because then you got to run through tests and there's a chance you're going to break it. I want to see all the classes fully separated. I did ask for all the implementations to be separated, right? Not the definitions. But honestly, you know, I do prefer all the commands separate. So I like I said, I can live with them in one file because they're all the same definitions with different names. So that's not something that's difficult to follow, but this is better. It's a better approach because it does, again, adhere to the open close principle. Now I don't have to modify a single header file to add a new class. I just add a header file and an implementation and then register it, and that's going to get called automatically. Okay, perfect. So now it looks like we're going to generate all these new files, which is pretty exciting. I would much rather have it this way. It's way cleaner, more efficient. Now I'm curious why up here I'm curious why we're registering these, the invoker. Okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Somewhere's gotta be dirty, right? Some bootstrapper part of this application needs to be dirty. Normally it's in main. I think what we're gonna do next is we're gonna inject this invoker from main. We're gonna create this invoker, pass it in to this class. So we're going to do the registration in main and just pass in this whole invoker class. Okay, now we're on track. It looks like everything's separate. See, this is what I like. We have a batch command, and this is what it does, and this is all it does. Yay! All right, each one of these is absolutely beautiful. Now that's what we want to see. Did it remove the old functions? Looks like it did, except for this guy. I'm not sure why that's there, but we'll work on that. I'd say that was a success. Next video we will inject this invoker and see if we can pull some more stuff out. In the meantime, like I said, I'm gonna get rid of the interactive mode. That's not really necessary with this application, and it just makes it more complicated for me and Claude. Anyway, on to the next video. Thanks for hanging out and watching how to refactor C++ code. Like and subscribe. Can't wait to see y'all next time. Ciao.